I know it's here somewhere. Finally. Oh, it's time for the doctor. You're listening to Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Take it away, Doctor.
Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon, is brought to you this week by Dyn.com.
Well, it's that time again, and the doctor is in. It's time for another Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon netcast. And you may notice that something's different this week, and it would be the microphone right in front of my face. Yes, this is a very high-quality Audio-Technica microphone. And later in the netcast, we'll do an unboxing of said microphone. Now, you may say, how do you do an unboxing given that you're using the microphone, therefore it has already been unboxed? Yes. It's through the magic of videotape, except we don't use tape anymore, but it's still video. So, well, that's the case. I'm looking for the model number. Yes, there it is. The model number is the Audio-Technica ATR2100 USB. Now, what makes this microphone so awesome, and it is awesome, is that it has a regular XLR type connector interface, but it also has a USB interface, and it even has a headphone interface, so I could listen to the dulcet tones of my voice as I record it. But that would be tacky. You know, just saying, wear a big headphone thing on my head. You know, and there's really no reason to hear my voice. I hear it in my brain. Yes. Anyway, we are proud members of the Tech Podcast Network, techpodcast.com. If it's tech, it's right here on Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Yeah. You know, it's funny. Bless their hearts. The folks at Tech Podcast Network, they still, you know, include me in their ranks. It's a good thing. I've been with them for many, many, many years. Yes. And they've gotten used to me, I guess. Fred hasn't gotten used to me, but, you know, he's only been with me for, what, a year or so. Indeed. So, he'll come around, I hope. Yeah, Fred. Keep saying that. Anyway, the Google Doodle. This is our first item, by the way. By the way, you know, I usually talk about how much stuff we have. Dude! We've got more stuff than you can throw a stick at. I was going to say a cat, but I like cats. I have a cat. I wouldn't throw her at anything. So I'll change it to stick. You know, I was thinking about the old Monty Python thing where they had the cat and he grabbed it by the tail and went row. Anyway, it's a Monty Python thing. What can I say? Anyway, the point is stuff. We have lots of stuff. Just saying. Google Doodle. You know how they do those Google Doodles? Well, they celebrated the birthday of Douglas Adams, who has since gone on to his reward. I think it's interesting that they celebrate people's birthdays that are no longer having birthdays, exactly. But I suppose it's celebrating the fact that they were here on the planet. Yes. So, it would have been Douglas Adams' 61st birthday had he not already shuffled off this mortal coil. So, they did a Google Doodle. Now, in case you missed it, and you may have, there is a YouTube video that I have posted on the blog of course being drbill.tv, drbill.tv, as it says upon the screen. Go there and you can view the video with all the features And if you're a Hitchhikers fan, you will find it awesome. It is. Okay, so Google Reader. Google Reader, we barely knew thee. Knew ye. Yes, that's the header that I put for this particular post. Google has announced the end of Google Reader. Now, there was a great cry that went forth across the internets earlier this week when this was announced, because a lot of geeks really liked Google Reader. Now, I personally never really used it. I use a reader. Reader, would you call it a reader exactly? It's not exactly a reader, now that I think about it. You know? It's more of a thing. And it's called, it's a plug-in for Chrome. You can tell I did not plan on getting into this. It's called Slick RSS. It took me a while to find it. Slick RSS, and it displays your RSS feeds within Google Chrome in a glorious 2-column fashion and gives you much control, let's say, over your RSS feeds. Now, Google Reader, though, was the ubiquitous reader of choice by many folk who like to read their news off RSS feeds. Now, basically what Google said in the process, in so many words, I mean, they didn't actually come out and say this, but they implied it strongly by doing away with Google Reader, is that RSS feeds are now meh. That no one cares about RSS feeds. I beg to differ, Google. No, RSS feeds are the very core of podcasting, netcasting, blogging, and all kinds of things that we do upon the interwebs. So Google, that's just my response. Don't go dissing the RSS feeds, Google. Just saying. Anyway, on Wednesday evening, Google announced the imminent passing of Google Reader Age 7. Scheduled demise July 1st. So you have until July 1st to find another reader that you can use. Like I said, I use Slick RSS in Chrome. Works great. So move on. Moving on. Okay. Dropbox has released a new desktop that adds features. Cool. And it is actually a pretty decent upgrade. Now, right now, you know, it's not like they're kind of pushing it out. You have to go download it afresh and anew. So go do that. Go to Dropbox.com, log into your account, and download the new Dropbox desktop thing. Yes. Now, while we're talking about our sponsor, you're saying, what? I don't remember you talking about your sponsor. Well, I wasn't. So anyway, but we have an awesome sponsor, and that sponsor is, of course, Dyn.com, D-Y-N.com. Now, I always want to spell it because, you know, you might think Dyn is in D-I-N-E, dining, and that's not the case. Dyn is in the first part of dynamic. Yes. So dyn.com, that's where you need to go, and enter the podcast 30 code. Now you say, why would I do that? Because Dyn.com offers amazing services for you. If you have a website and you want super amazing response, you know, it might be a small business, your whole livelihood might depend on that website being accessed quickly and reliably, then you need managed DNS services. And that's what Dyn.com is all about. Okay, managed DNS services and also managed email services. And the email services allow you to send emails to your entire email list safely, securely, quickly. And, you know, there's a lot of ISPs that block you from sending large lists of emails because they don't want you to spam anybody. Well, listen, if you have an opt-in email list where people have requested information from you on a regular basis, that's not spamming, okay? So in that case, you need a reliable email methodology to get to your customers. And that's what dyn.com, dyn.com offers, is a service that allows you to send large emails reliably, safely, and effectively, and, as I said, manage DNS services. Now, the great thing about this special podcast code, podcast30, if you'll enter that code, you'll get 30% off your order of their services. Wow. Now, that's a great deal, 30%. So, check it out now, dyn.com. All right, let us move on to another item. And this item is really exciting. Now, this item, if you are a Roku user, as I am, I really love my Roku. This is good news and bad news. The good news is there's a new Roku device called the Roku 3. It is incredibly fast. It is an amazing upgrade. Faster processor, faster response time, better Wi-Fi. The remote, where's my Roku remote? I have a Roku remote here. This is not from a Roku 3, sadly. But imagine if this remote had right here in its side a headphone jack, and you could plug headphones into your remote. You say, why would I want to do that? Well, let's say you're watching a movie late at night, and your family's already gone to bed. You don't want to wake them up. At least I hope you don't. So this would allow you to watch your movie quietly and not disturb anybody. That's pretty neat, right? So anyway, the Roku 3. Now you say, why is it good news, bad news? Sounds like good news so far. Yes, it is. And did I mention there's even a new interface? Dude, this has got an amazing new interface and it's fast. The bad news is that you will probably want to upgrade, which means you'll have to spend the $99.99 to upgrade. So, you know, start saving your pennies now. By the way, on the website, actually right here in the article, I have a special link. If you want to click on Meet the Roku 3, our most powerful streaming box ever, it will help the drbill.tv show, this show, tremendously if you'll do that. And then B, you will get the information and be able to order the Roku 3, which I want to do. I really do. I'm sure my wife's thrilled, but she's the one who sent me the email that it was out. So I suspect she already knows. But at any rate, let's move on. Moving on. Okay. This is an official rant. Rant alert. We should put that on the bottom of the screen. Rant alert. I am about to rant. Now, I started this rant last week, so this is more of an additional clarified rant. Internet Explorer 10. It's terrible. Why? Because it doesn't support HTML5 and WebM video from the cloud. You say, Dr. Bill, that's a pretty specific problem. A very fine-grained issue that you have there with Internet Explorer 10. Yes, it is. But it doesn't affect Firefox. It doesn't affect Chrome. It doesn't affect Opera. Just Microsoft's Internet Explorer 10. If you're going to support HTML5 dudes at Microsoft, if you're listening, hello, then you need to support it even off the cloud. Don't give me an error message of invalid source just because it's coming off the cloud. In case you guys are not aware, there's something called cloud computing. And you can put media in the cloud and it works from there. It's not an invalid source. It's the cloud. Deep, cleansing breaths. Yes, I feel better now. Both because I ranted and because of the deep cleansing breaths. Sometimes you gotta rant. Next item. I told you there was a lot. Ubuntu GNOME Remix is now an official flavor of Ubuntu. You know, Ubuntu has all kinds of flavors. There's ones like Ubuntu, which is the KDE version of Ubuntu. And then, of course, you got the regular Ubuntu, which is the one with the Unity interface, which I'm kind of meh on. I don't really care so much for the Unity interface. As a matter of fact, mostly the way I use Ubuntu is from the command line from the server. The server version of Ubuntu. I use that for various server applications, as you might imagine. But, and then of course I use Linux Mint, which is based on Ubuntu for my actual client-side Linuxing. But Ubuntu GNOME, a lot of folks like the GNOME interface. I am kind of ambivalent on GNOME. I like KDE. GNOME's okay. But at any rate, for those Gnomies out there, you now have a version of Ubuntu for you called the Ubuntu GNOME Remix. Yes. Now, a while ago, we were talking about Dropbox and how they have a new desktop. Well, they also have purchased Mailbox. Dropbox purchased Mailbox. Kind of makes sense, huh? It was a marriage made in heaven. Now, I've heard a lot of iOS users, people that have iPhones and iPads and things along that line, rave about Mailbox and what a wonderful app it is. Well, guess what, guys? As he gets his phone, which is actually still here. Well, it's been moving around with me. I've got it upside down. But it is actually within arm's reach, which is pretty amazing. But it's an Android phone, you know, which means Mailbox won't work with it. So Dropbox, get on the stick and make Mailbox work with Droid. Okay? Then I'll be excited. Until then, I'm not going to be so excited. I'm just going, whoa! Okay, Fred, yes. It's time for the Geek Software of the Week. Geek Software of the Week this week is WiseCare 365. Interesting name. It's from a company that previously has made a product called Wise Cleaner, which is a registry cleaner, freeware thing. But they now have a product called WiseCare, which incorporates both the registry cleaner with a file cleaner with a PC optimizer. It's pretty much everything you need to optimize your PC. Yes. They have a free version and they have a pro version. So you can do what you will, you know what I mean? You can buy the pro version and support them, which would be a good thing. Or you could download the free version and use it and see if you like it, you know, which is a good idea. So, but it's an all-in-one utility, okay? As I said, does a whole lot of stuff. It does what their registry cleaner did, and their disk cleaner does. They still have those products, don't get me wrong. So does, okay? Yes. And they claim that it detects hidden invalid registry issues better than CCleaner. Now, I really love CCleaner, but they claim to be better. So check it out. It's simple to use. As if by magic, your old PC will transform into a brand new and blazing fast one after WiseCare 365's automatic cleanup and tune-up. I'm reading from their blurb. Blurb sounds so, you know, not good. But it's a blurb. It's a word. Anyway, it now has faster scanning speed. It's twice as fast as CCleaner. Apparently, they're fairly obsessed with CCleaner. Just saying. Well, you know, it's their competition. It is highly reviewed. And this is true. Lots of good reviews from PC World, PC Advisor, Computer Build, Chip, CNET, ZDNet, and so on. I fall into the and so ons. Just saying. They don't have me in the list. Dr. Bill recommends. Well, I'm just now doing it, so let's give them a break. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Highly experienced developers. They have a group of top developers which have at least 10 years of experience spending 3 years creating. I laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but I've been in the computing industry over 30 years. You know, when I see something where somebody says, I've got 10 years experience, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm a geezer. You know what I'm saying? Okay, never mind. And they have full-time technical support service. Yes. So it's a good product. You know, people who want me to review things, maybe they don't want me to review things. I don't mean to sound like I'm dissing these guys. They're sharp, and they know what they're doing. Boy. Anyway, next item. Let's move on. Turn your TV into an Android tablet. Now, I'm not talking about taking this is a straw, but I'm going to use it as a magic wand. You say, Dr. Bill, why do you have such weird things in front of you? I don't know. I don't. But let's see if this was a magic wand. And I went, poof, to my TV over there. I'm not talking about magically turning your TV into a tablet, per se. You know, I even have here under the table, see if I can do it without knocking everything over. I have my tablet. Wow. Everything right here within arm's reach. It's like a guy's paradise, you know what I mean? Everything within arm's reach. Okay. My wife's probably going, yeah, right. It's a mess. Well, it is. Sorry. Anyway, the point is this geeky device that they talked about this week on Techzilla is called the Infinitec Pocket TV, because you can put the little dealie in your pocket. I was looking around for a USB drive. I don't actually see one of those. Anyway, it's about the size of a USB drive, except that instead of a USB interface, it has an HDMI interface, and you plug it into your TV, and then you have a little keyboard thing, and you can use the Air Remote keyboard thing. Yes, they have an Air Remote, and they also have a keyboard. Anyway, the whole thing costs about $159, which is cool. I mean, that's not bad for this cool thing. And basically, whatever you have in your Android account that you got off the Android Play Store, you know, ever since they changed the name to the Play Store, it sounds a little, odd. But anyway, whatever you got in there, like if you got browsers and all that kind of stuff, you can do it on your TV. That's cool. Something else I want eventually. I even say has. But I keep, the problem is, in order to get all these cool toys, you got to keep spending money. And it doesn't grow on trees, much as we'd like it to. If you know of a tree that will grow money, tell me, I'll get one planted, get a tree, and get more toys. Yes. Ooh, you know what we forgot to do? Well, I forgot to do. I forgot to do the unboxing of the microphone. Whew, don't want to forget that. I'm not big on unboxing videos, really. But since everybody else is doing it, I figured I would too. Besides, I have one here in a box. Well, I had one here in a box. So here's that video now. First of all, I have to apologize for the mess. This whole table is a mess. Hopefully, I have controlled the view in such a way that the mess won't be quite as obvious. But I do what I can. This is the way the box comes for our unboxing, and that is in a plastic bag. Not a very well-fitting plastic bag, but it is a plastic bag. So I'm going to cut the plastic bag with the scissors here and unbag it before I unbox it. Okay, so this is your basic box. See, this is the thing I always am amazed about unboxings, is that I'm not sure why people enjoy watching it, you know, but such as it is, it is. So we pull the little tabby thing, and oh yes, before I do that, I also have to clip the little plastic things that hold the top on. It's actually fairly well packed. There we go. So now, sorry if I'm shaking everything, but that's kind of the nature of these things. You pull it out of the box, discard the box and the plastic, and then you lift the plastic little clear thingy here off, and there is the microphone. Okay? Now, this is what I was talking about on the microphone, about the fact that it has both USB and the XLR type connector, and then has a connector for the headphone to plug into. Has a little plastic sleevey thing here, which is fairly useless. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. The microphone itself feels really heavy and tough, you know, so that's nice. It has a basically a kind of a mount thing, you know, to put it on. So I'm going to put that back in here. How does it go? I just took it out. There we go. It has a little, like a little tripod deal, which is made out of plastic, but it's still pretty handy, pretty useful. It also has USB cable, which is nice long USB cable. And then here's the amazing thing. It comes with XLR cable, so you can connect it to your, and see, look at this. That is a lot of cable. It's kind of tucked underneath. It's actually a 9-foot cable. So that's pretty cool. This is an awesome microphone, I'm telling you. I highly recommend it. And people that are doing podcasts, dude, this is the microphone you want to use. So, get it. Just saying. So there you go. It's been unboxed. I'm not sure why unboxing videos are so popular. Well, maybe I am a little, okay? Because then you can at least see what peripheral items come with the thing that you're seeing unboxed before you buy it. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I can understand that. And, you know, you can see if you need to buy a cable, or if the cable comes with it, or those kinds of things. So, okay, maybe I do now understand. Yes, I agree, Fred. You know, Fred seems to indicate that it would be good to think about these things before I start talking about them. That's not my way. Yeah, he knows. Anyway, last little thing for this week is a hint and or tip. Hints and or tips are one of the reasons I'm here. Yes. Anyway, there's a lot of other reasons, but that'll be a good one for this week. And that is the Geek Website of the Week. Now, we didn't have, and we're not going to have, a drum roll. So just save it, Fred. Okay? For the Geek Website of the Week, because it's just a tiny little tip. A little bitty tip. If you are in a situation where you need a timer. Now, you might say, why would I need a timer? I don't know. Maybe you're in the kitchen and you have a PC there and you need a timer to time something you're cooking. I don't know. I have occasions that I need timers. So, there's this website called ALRT.io, which I guess is alert, except spelled geekishly. ALRT, where they take out the vowels. Alert.io. Input, output. Okay? So, you go to ALRT.io, which is a very, very, very plain, simple website. And you can put at the end of the string, the URL, you can put how many minutes and seconds and so forth you want to count down. So, for instance, if you put 28M30S, then that's 28 minutes, 30 seconds. Yes. And so it'll go up on your screen, big screen on your browser, and count down for you. How cool is that? You're saying, I don't really care. Well, phooey on you. I needed a timer, and this was a cool little timer. And you don't have to buy any software, and you don't have to do anything special. You just go to this weird website. Now, I don't always recommend you go to weird websites, but this is one you can go to safely. So there you go. It's been a bit of an odd netcast, but it's been very clear in an audio fashion. Just saying. You know, it's kind of good to get back to the old clarity of audio that we had in the early days when we were only an audio netcast. But it's hard to get the video right and the audio right all at the same time. It's kind of like walking and chewing gum. Deep cleansing breaths. But, you know, I think that we've gone from good to really good on the audio and the video. Ha ha! So take that, evildoers! I don't know what that has to do with anything, but remember, until next time, the doctor is out of here!
Dr. Bill, the Computer Curmudgeon, is a production of DrBillBailey.net with all the honors, rights, and privileges thereunto appertaining.